Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai Shem Kakodash. And shalom to the hopeful elect out there. And I'm going to entitle this video, The Importance of the Tribe of Ephraim in Biblical Prophecy. Now, this goes into the topic of the 12 tribe sign, the importance of the 12 tribe sign. But I'm focusing on Ephraim and Judah and Ephraim. That before this man goes down, well, I'll give you a lineup of the prophecies, the next big major prophecies that are going to come to pass, that are coming to pass as we speak. You got the tribes together. You got the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom together. You go back 60s, maybe 50s. I believe Ephraim, the tribe of Ephraim, or the Puerto Ricans, they started coming up here. They were the first to come up here among the so-called Latin tribes. Now, what I'm going to do is I didn't set anything up. I don't know where I'm going to go. I'm just going to put in some keywords. And the way I'm going to do this video is it's just like I'm putting something together. You know, we'll put keywords in, we'll do word searches on the blue letter. We may go to Google and then we'll put stuff together in order. I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to go with the Spirit. So I don't know where the Spirit's going to take me. But yesterday I was going through this. I put in, I went into the blue letter. I went to this search. I put in Judah space Ephraim. So a handful of precepts came up. And history of the split in the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, the hatred for the two kingdoms, because when the tribe of Ephraim, or the northern kingdom, went down by the Assyrians, the kingdom of Judah was looking at him, laughing at him, like, good for your ass. We ain't like you any motherfucking way. You're not a part of this thing. You're really not Israel. Just thoughts. You can imagine that hatred, you know. That's why it ultimately says in Isaiah 11, around about the 11 verses in that area, 11, 12 verse, and I'll probably read that too. It says Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Because the northern kingdom, Ephraim, or the self-appointed king, which was Jeroboam at that time, he was an Ephraimite, and he made himself a king, going against, the tribe of Judah, which the kings came out of the tribe of Judah. The first king came out of the tribe of Benjamin, then shifted over to Judah. Judah, being the head tribe, is an important tribe, but Ephraim is almost as important, or just as important, because this deliverance and destruction will not come unless the two tribes come together, which bring together the two kingdoms, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Now, when you go into the scriptures, into the history of the Bible and various scriptures, the prophets prophesied it. There was a prophet, Ahijah, if I'm not mistaken, I'm positive it was Ahijah, that tore the garments from Jeroboam and gave him, I believe it was 10, if I'm not mistaken, it was 10. And he said, because Dan was there at that time, and he said, you're going to take 10 tribes. So guess what? Jeroboam was set up by the Most High to do what he did. So that split happened because the Most High wanted it to happen. So now we're in the time of the coming together. You know, you got a lot of Jakes that have married Ephraimite women and Simeonite women and Ephraimite men dealing with Jake women. So you got them tribes kind of cold, and they well, like it says in the scriptures, it says Judah and Israel shall be oppressed together in Jeremiah, either Jeremiah 50 or Jeremiah 51. I'm almost positive it's Jeremiah 50. Important precepts, prophecies, Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 49, Jeremiah 50, and Jeremiah 51. I may just hit that scripture. But anyway, this is what I did, right? I went to Google and it sent me here, tribe of Ephraim, a type of the United States. So I kind of scrolled down. This is page 3 actually. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do that. Let me do this. Tribe of Ephraim, prophetic of United States of America. You come down to 3. Okay, what did I go through? Let me try this. America. Bear me for a minute. Tribal emblems of Ephraim, national symbols of America. Like I'm scrolling through this. Anyway, let me come over here to page 3. Okay. Prophecy in scripture related to Ephraim. Ephraim was a son of Joseph. There are prophetic parallels between Joseph and the United States. These parallels contribute part of the picture of Ephraim's prophetic fulfillment. Let's see what this says. I mean, you would have to read through this whole book if you have the time. But at least it mentions as the title, the tribe of Ephraim, prophetic of the United States of America. So let me come back over here and bring it back to Ephraim and Manasseh, who is America. Ephraim and Manasseh both live in the land of Britain. I don't know where they got that from. And for many centuries went to war with Scotland. Also, many of the Scottish Irish people moved to America, which a lot of those Scots and Irish are Jake, mixed with Jake. So let's see what this says. Joseph in America, nations. Prophecies identifying the U.S. as belonging to Joseph. Woo! What Israelites tribes is represented by North America. North America in general is the domain of Joseph. What Joseph represents, Joseph is interchangeable with the tribe Ephraim. If you go to Revelation chapter 7, it speaks about 12,000 out of each tribe. Instead of mentioning Ephraim, it mentions Joseph. It says, there were two tribes of Joseph, Ephraim, and Manasseh. Our understanding is that the British and her offshoots, including Canada, which is America, and you have a lot of Ephraimites in Canada. I've been to Canada a couple of times. There's Ephraimites. There's a lot of Benjamin, a lot of Benjamin. Got a lot of Judah. Got a lot, mostly Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, including Canada, pertain to Ephraim. The USA is dominated more by Manasseh. The USA, however, in our time also represents all of the USA, however, in our time also represents all of the 10 tribes. Even though Manasseh is more dominant descendant of Ephraim, and the US may be more numerous. And in general, biblical, rabbinic, historical, and rabbinic meaning the JJs and other sources show that the 10 tribes settled among Western peoples. Yeah, you got the tribe of Gad, the tribe of Reuben, Gad all up in Canada. Another tribe that's up big in Canada is Gad, because Gad, when Esau first came to settle in Canada, they encountered the tribe of Gad. They're all over. There's millions upon millions of Gadites in Canada. This does not mean that everyone there is a Hebrew, but rather that is where descendants of the lost Hebrews are to be found. The standard of Joseph depicted a picture of Egypt. This may have been a pyramid. A pyramid is depicted on the U.S. Great Seal as portrayed on a dollar bill representing the USA. Now check this out. Joseph, that's why these Edomites, when they started coming over here, these settlers, Puritans and so forth, when they came over here and they encountered the tribe of Gad, they said, these are Israelites. Joseph Smith of that, you know, he was the founder of the Mormons, the Book of Mormons. They have the Book of Mormons somewhere in the house. They tell you that the Indians of America are Israelites, or one of the tribes of Israel. They call them, I believe they call them Lamanites. It says Joseph, including Manasseh, because you got Joseph, Ephraim, Joseph, which is Ephraim, including Manasseh, was to become the greatest, most powerful. I'm going to give you a number of scriptures, Numbers 24, 7 to 9, Micah 5. Ooh, Micah 5, 7 to 9. No, you didn't. You know, you did not put Micah 5 and 7. Deuteronomy 33. Wait a minute. Deuteronomy 33, verses 27 to 29. Let me do this. Let me do this right here. Let me just see what it says. Deuteronomy. Go to King James. Like I said, I don't know where I'm going with this. The eternal God, the Most High, is thy refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms, and he shall thrust out the enemy from before thee. That's what's getting ready to happen, and shall say, destroy them. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. The fountain, that's the kingdom. So, hey, this is a good precept right here. A lot of brothers don't go into. It says, I got to read again, 27 verse. The eternal power is thy refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms, and he shall thrust out the enemy from before thee, and shall say, destroy them. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. The fountain of Yahweh shall be upon a land of corn and wine. Also, his heaven shall drop down dew. Happy art thou, O Yasha'Allah, Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by the Most High, Yahweh, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency, and thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. That's the kingdom. Ultimately, the kingdom. You know what I'm gonna do? We'll do this. Sometimes you just gotta go with the spirit. Give me for a minute. Like I said, Joseph is interchangeable with the tribe of Ephraim. And of Joseph, he said, blessed of the Lord be his land, for the precious things of heaven, for the dew, and for the deep that croucheth beneath. And that's talking about the land that they're in now, Puerto Rico. And this is what High Priest Ariah used to break down the tribes. Genesis, two major Chronicles 2 and other parts of the scriptures, but the two main chapters number one is Genesis 49, and number two is Deuteronomy 33. So reading the 16th verse. And for the precious things of the earth and fullness thereof, and for the good will of him that dwell in the bush, let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph and upon the top of the head of him that was separated from his brethren. '17 verse. His glory is like the firstling of his bullock, and his horns are like the horns of unicorns. With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth. That's happening now. The unicorn horn represents the internet, because this thing woke Israel up. The YouTube, the internet, mainly the YouTube, and they are the the 10,000s of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. Let me try something. I thought the word "woe" was there. Bear with me for a minute. Bear with me for a minute. That's not it either. If I knew the word, I can type it in. This is a damn shame. Bear with me for a minute. Bear with me for a minute. Let me try it this way. Go back to Ephraim. Could be in Genesis 49, but there was a key word there. I can't even think of the word. If I see the precept, that's what I'm looking for. I'm just trying to look. Fruits brought forth, precious, good him, separated. I can't think of the wording. Try this again. That's not it. I'm sorry, couldn't find it, but because I can't think of a word. If I see the precept, it'll come right to me. Let me try it this way. Let me go to Genesis 49. Okay, it's in. I knew the word wall was in there. It's in Genesis 49, verse 22. It says Joseph, which are the Ephraimites, is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well whose branches run over the wall. So what does that mean? And if you have spiritual eyes, you can see that Joseph, we know that it's talking about Ephraim, is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a wall whose branches run over, by a well whose branches run over the wall. Let me look up the word bow. 40, 23rd verse. The archers have sorely grieved him. We know who the archers are, and shot at him and hated him. But his bow, a bow in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty power, because they wanted to, do away with Ephraim of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. So Joseph is a fruitful bow, even a fruitful bow by a well, a source of water, that is an island, whose branches run over the wall. The branches run over the wall is talking about they went into the Americas. So let me look at the word bow and branches. Bow is son. Son, man, children, sons. Ephraim means fruitful. Payar. Ephraim is uh, fruitful. Let's look up the word ayan. Okay, branches. It said bun and it said bath or banath, which is daughters. So they were fruitful in having sons and daughters, right? And the wall represents a barrier. They went over the wall, meaning they went to the Americas. Now let me do this. I haven't gone through the breakdown of Ephraim in a long time. Uh, Let me try it this way. I deliberately spelled that wrong. Let me try murderer or murderers. Yep, I got it. Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place. That's the land, the island of Puerto Rico. But Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the what? The murderer. When you go back to Genesis 49, fruitful bowl, even by a well, their branches shall go over the wall. In other words, out of that barrier of the island into the Americas. So this goes hand in hand with Genesis 49. Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place, Puerto Rico. But Ephraim shall bring forth his sons and daughters to the murderer. Who's the murderer? Esau. Hey, when Ephraim came up over here, came up to the Americas, man, they were putting these war, the Korean War, the Vietnam War. They were killed, the gangs and all that. And they were taken advantage of by Esau. And that's a fulfillment of Jeremiah 50. Judah and Israel shall be oppressed together. So all the tribes are here. The first tribe to come up here, you had Issachar up here already because they were part of the Americas. Like the Alamo, that was a part of Mexico. Certain parts of California, really all of it through the Spanish. So Esau pushed them out. But Ephraim was always part of an island, and that's what we're reading about in Deuteronomy 33, Genesis 49, and Hosea 9 and 13. So they didn't go to Africa. They split and they came over here to the Americas. Anybody's teaching that they went to Africa and they didn't come to America. Who are the people over here in America? And then when the white settlers came over here, really, when Columbus came over here, who did they encounter? They encountered people that were speaking Hebrew. That's why he brought with him the top uh, interpreter, linguist, you can call him. Not Tricino, I keep getting Tricino mixed up. Del Torres, Ben Levy. He's supposed to be, I don't know if he's an actual Edomite that called himself Levy or he was an actual Levite. Because they had to have Israelites on that ship with Columbus. And this guy, Del Torres, could have been, I wouldn't be surprised if he was an Israelite. He was the one that communicated with Gad. So the people over here in America, they were the Israelites. Point blank, period. So now this is what I want to get into. And another thing, when you're going into the tribe of Ephraim, there's a lot to be said in the book of Hosea. Ephraim is like a cake not turned. He has joined the idols, let him alone. Okay, where do I want to go? This is what I want to do. Let me go to Isaiah 11. So if you're teaching the truth concerning the prophecies of Israel, you have to teach that the Indian people are Israelites. The Northern Kingdom didn't flee, go down into Africa. They came over here to the other side of the world. Remember, the scriptures say that we were scattered throughout the whole. You got like Fopi. They come to mind. Oh, they all the tribes went to Africa. Well, wait a minute. So who are those people when Christopher Columbus came over here to the Americas? I'm talking about Canada, North America, the U.S., Central and South America. Who are those people? How did they get here? During the time of Solomon, he had a great navy. And it says in the Apocrypha, they went to a land that never mankind dwelt, that lived in. They went, Solomon had his navy go back and forth to the Americas. It was a cycle, 3-year cycle. They went over there, they gathered certain things, peacocks and apes and certain spices and stuff, and even gold. And brought it back to, that was Solomon's bank right there. So the Israelites knew, the Northern Kingdom, they knew to get away from the heathens and go to another land. They knew about the land because of Solomon. What was the other king's name? I'm not going to look for him. There was another king that came after Solomon that knew about the Americas, and he said, "Let me go to the Americas, and get those goods from America." And the ships they used were broken up because it was only for Solomon. That was Solomon's treasure chest. So it only makes sense. Israel was scattered, Deuteronomy 28:64. Israelites were scattered from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. Okay, so this is comes up in 28 verses, written 65 times. I'm just going to pick out a couple of them. I went through this yesterday. But this is a good one. Second Chronicles 25:10. Then Amaziah separated them, to wit, the army that was come to him out of Ephraim, to go home again. Wherefore their anger was greatly kindled against Judah, Yahweh, and they returned home in great anger. Psalm 60, verse 7, Gilead is mine, and Manasseh is mine. Ephraim also is the strength of mine head. Judah is my lawgiver. So Ephraim is a major tribe, as far as the order goes with the tribes. That's a major tribe. That's a head tribe. Head tribe over what's called the Northern Kingdom. So when you have these different Israelite groups saying that the 12 tribe sign is fake, don't go by the 12 tribe sign. The 12 tribe sign, there are 12 tribes, but the tribes are wrong. They're all black. The Most High is not dealing with these people, period. So you don't have to argue with them. Hey, High Priest Ariah, you don't have to argue with these people. We would have a debate. There's nothing to debate on. There's nothing to debate on. If you can't see it because the Most High, then open your eyes to see it. The people of North, Central, and South America, long before Jake got over here, was forced over here. What are the Israelites? All throughout, all up in Canada, all up in the U.S., Central and South America, all the various islands. And this guy, the GOCC, Ricard, he's teaching. He's way off, man. He's way off. We don't even talk about that guy. He's so far to the left. Talking about some of the tribes, like the Polynesian people. He says Edomites can make it. They got Edomites marrying, actual Edomites marrying Jakes in their congregation. That congregation, that's a worse congregation out there. But you notice, vocab really doesn't get on them too much. Vocab, he doesn't get on the IO, what is it, the IOG, the Israel Guard. He doesn't get on them. He might briefly mention something about them, and he really doesn't get on the GOCC, because the GOCC teaches that Edomites can be saved and other nations can be saved. What camps does he mainly get on? GMS, IUIC, ICBK, Sakari. Okay, give me a second here. Okay, this is an important scripture. Isaiah 7, verse 17. Yahweh shall bring upon thee and upon thy people and upon thy father's house days that have not come from the day that Ephraim departed from Judah, even the king of Assyria. Days that have not come is talking about a future prophecy. So there's no record of the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom getting back together. Not in the Roman Empire, not in the Greek captivity, not among the Persians and the Medes. It's talking about now. The tribes are coming together. The two kingdoms are coming together in our time. That's why we have the tribe. That's why we have the tribe sign. That's an important sign. Like I said, any group out there that's teaching that the 12 tribe sign is off, the Most High is not dealing with them, period. They know that they're Israelites, that's about it, but they're not prophets. Now check this out. Manasseh, Ephraim, Manasseh, and they together shall be against Judah, meaning the kingdom of Judah, for all this anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. That's why it says right here in Isaiah 11, verse 13, the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversary of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Let's look at the word envy and vex. let me look up envy over here and envy, two different words. So Ephraim shall not envy Judah. Envy, be jealous, be envious, be zealous, envious, to excite, to jealousy, anger, to provoke to jealousy, anger, cause jealousy. Yeah, because Judah, out of Judah, that was the head tribe. That's where the kings came out of. That's where Solomon came out of. That's where the Lord came out of. That's why we know that the Lord came out of a man, out of the loins of David. Christians can't see that because the Most High is not dealing with them. Now let's look up the word vex. The word is tazarar. To cause the distress, besiege, to strength, bind, tie up, be scant, be cramped. Hostility toward, vex, to show hostility, treat with enmity, vex, harass. They threw it in their face. Look, we're the kings, all right? And that's what they, Shia, look, Judah's the head. And that's part of the reason why Jeroboam fell off because of that envy, but it was also a spiritual thing. This was set up in the spirit, that split. Let's look at a couple more. Okay, this is it. It is important. You see, the ones of you that say the 12 tribe sign is fake and it's BS and they're all black. How do you explain this? And when was this fulfilled? It wasn't fulfilled with Ezekiel. There's no record of Ezekiel walking around with a 12 tribe sign. What it wasn't fulfilled during the time of Yahweh Shai, 2,000 years ago. It's being fulfilled right now. This is how we know that we're the true men of the Most High. The Old Testament Israelites. Look, the book of Ezekiel is part of the Old Testament, right? So these Old Testament only Israelites, they can't explain this. What is this all about? They're not saying that, oh, the tribe of Ephraim, they came over here to the Americas with the Northern Kingdom. They don't know that. And another thing, vocab doesn't get on these Old Testament only Israelites because they're not. You got to have the whole book to get the full understanding. You have to deal with the whole book, which includes the Apocrypha, original King James version of the Apocrypha. It said, moreover, 16 verse, moreover, thou son of man, let take thee, you know the story, take one stick, put forth Judah and his commandment, Benjamin and Levi, another stick for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim and his companion, these so-called Latin tribes, as we call them. So any of you people that are following these people that are getting on the sign, saying the sign is fake and the sign, the tribes only black people, like I said, this is the third time I'm saying it on this video. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is clearly not dealing with you. You're taken away from the book. Yeah, because we fought, we fell. Hosea 5:5. or that's spoken about in Hosea 1, which represents the split. Hosea 6, verse 4. O Ephraim, what shall I do unto thee? O Judah, what shall I do unto thee? For your for your goodness, your righteousness is as a morning cloud. And as you know what happens with morning clouds, you go to the bathroom, you come back, the cloud is gone. And as the early dew, it goeth away. So y'all are both deemed to be wicked. So guess what? The Most High is going to jack y'all up. But he started with Ephraim, the northern kingdom first. Hosea 10, verse 11, I'm almost finished. And Ephraim is as an heifer that is taught and loveth to tread out the corn, but I pass over upon her fair neck. I will make Ephraim to ride, Judah shall plow, and Jacob shall break his clods. Ultimately, they're going to work. You check out the various camps, you see some camps like GMS in Chicago, you got a lot of Issacharites, you got some Ephraimites. You go out to the west, you got a lot of Issacharites, you got Jake, some Benjamin. Come to New York camp, you have more like, Ephraimites. Hosea 11, verse 12, Ephraim compasseth me about with lies, and the house of Israel with deceit, the northern kingdom. But Judah, the southern kingdom, yet ruleth with the Most High, and is faithful and with the saints. So it's a time that Judah was doing the right thing. They went off like the northern kingdom, and they were both punished. So who started teaching us first? This came out of Judah. Abba is a Judite. Marsha, Arian, Yaquab, but Judites. It said, but Judah yet ruleth with the Most High and is faithful with his saints. So we're coming back to that. We're doing the right thing. We're coming in order. I was that Psalm 50 and 16 on down. I shall set them in order before your eyes, before your face. Oh, this is beautiful right here. Zechariah 9:13. When I have bent Judah for me, fill the boat. Let me come back. Turn you to the stronghold, you prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. When I have bent Judah for me, fill the bow with Ephraim. When did this take place? And raise up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, Esau, that made thee as a sword of a mighty man. You know what I'm going to do? We'll get ready to close, but I want to go to the commentary. trodden because of the foot was placed on the bow and bending it. The warriors of Israel were weapons in the hand of the Most High. Judah is the bow, Ephraim the arrow. The sons of Zion are now raised or lifted up by him as a spear. What the Hebrew word is the same. Now wielded as a sword. The RV gives the tenses in the verse more accurately. But I have bent, I have filled, and I will stir up, and will make. The prophecy now moves forward and takes for its groundwork a latter epoch in the future history of the Jews. Well, they're telling you that's a prophecy that's going to come to pass, a future history of the Jews. They think it's the JJs. It ain't the JJs. It's us, the ones on the highways and the byways all over the place, all over the country, as their deliverance from their enemy without fighting in the time of Alexander. Were foretold as a people and a type of Messiah's kingdom of peace. So their victories over the Seleucid, which is Antiochus Epiphanes line, in the times of the Maccabees. So that's what did no, because Ephraim and Judah is not going to be together during that time, during the time of the Maccabees. Talking about now, in these verses foretold as a pledge and type of Messiah's victory over all his enemies. They got it wrong, which I knew they were going to get it wrong. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say Shalom.